Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. For only $99, you can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. Be seen on WHPR Detroit Live, Comcast Cable Channel 91, on the web at tv33whpr.com, with the TV33 app, on Roku, Google TV, Apple TV, and on Amazon Fire TV. Act now. Time slots are limited. Sign up today and get a free replay with the purchase of your time slot. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only.
This is Mikael from Healthwise Enterprise. The health food store is located at 3807 East 8 Mile Road, about 3 blocks west of Ryan. We're there to service you from 10 to 7, Monday through Saturday. And you can always reach us at 586-757-DIET. Again, that's 586-757-3438. Our old number still works, 313-366-DIET. And if you want to reach me directly, I suggest you send me a text at 313-600-8532. And I will call you back. It's a couple of things I want to let you know. Next week's show, we can run across this guy named Zach Bush. Is a doctor, a scientist, and he discovered a way to put life back into some of the soil that's been killed. And so next week we're going to show you that. He even boasts how he can turn a parking lot into an area that we can grow food. And the significance of this food that he talks about is it builds up the gut in our bodies. And we've had children that have taken some of this food and reversed their dementia, okay? Not the dementia, their diabetes, okay, in Hawaii. So I'm looking forward to sharing that information with you next week. But today I wanted to share with you another plug for oxygen, because I'm heavy into oxygen, because it does so many wonderful things to the body. We have it in the silver water as oxygen. We have it in our alkaline water as heavy in oxygen. Our green foods helps the body to make its own oxygen. Okay, and even exercising, because we breathe in more oxygen, and that helps in so many different health benefits for the body. And this one is this scientist has figured out a way to use oxygen to reverse age. Yes, that's amazing. Okay, the first gift we get from God outside our mother's womb is oxygen, that breath, but this hyperbiotic acid treatment reverse signs of aging. Okay, this is from a Dr. Mercola that was reported the 14th, a few days ago. Researchers at Telomere University have explored the benefit of exposure to high pressure oxygen at different concentrations inside a pressure chamber for years, with studies showing such treatment improve strokes, brain injury, brain function, and that was damaged by aging. Now that's significant because people get dementia and Alzheimer's, and they say once the cell is dead, that's it. But these scientists said no, that's not it. A recent study suggests the Hyperbiotic oxygen treatment, Hbot, targets two cellular hallmarks of aging: shortening of the telomeres and cellular senescence, or the loss of the cell's ability to divide and grow. Okay, they call it cellular senescence. The loss of the abilities of the cell to divide and grow, helping to reverse signs of aging process in humans. After Hbot, telomeres at the end of the chromosome grew longer instead of shorter at a rate of 20 to 38%, depending on the type of cells of the chromosome. Senescent cells decrease significantly by 11 to 37%, depending on the cell type after Hbot. The use of telomere length as a marker for aging is in itself controversial, and the study samples were small, with some suggesting that results would be interpreted with caution. However, other experts agree that Hbot can have significant benefits for longevity and chronic conditions. See, that's one thing we as God's children, as we're constantly doing, is creating. God is the ultimate creator. We as children, we create. All the technology and the changes we have done in the last 100 years or last 1,000 years is nothing new has come into the planet. We just use what God has given us and created all these conditions. The hyperbiotic oxygen treatment may be a practical method for slowing down the hands of time. At its foundation, age represents a progressive loss of physiological capacity. Researchers from Telomere University in the South Medical Center in Israel explain in the Journal of Aging, the biological deterioration leads to impaired functions and increased vulnerability to diseases, including cancer, heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's diseases, and others. The hypovoltic oxygen treatment, the aging study suggests, may target two cellular hallmarks of aging: shortening of the telomeres and cellular senescence, or the loss of cells' ability to divide and conquer, thereby reversing signs of aging process in humans. They say, well, how can we get this for ourselves? Okay, but I'm just trying to point out that they can put folks in this chamber and they get this good results. What we have available to us right now is oxygen in the drinking water, oxygen in the silver water, okay? Being around plants, doing deep breathing exercises. Those things we can do right now. If you can get a hold of some food-grade hyperoxide, just, water's H2O. Hyperoxide is one more molecule of oxygen, okay? Because water's H2O, hyperoxide is H2O2. One more molecule of oxygen makes all the difference in the world. I've seen folks just recently have had body odors, but it wasn't like if you be around them you can smell them. It's just if he rub his hand on his chest and you smell his hand, you can smell this body odor. Well, he took a bath in the food-grade hyperoxide. Now, this was going on for years. He took a bath in the food-grade hyperoxide, one bath, and that odor was gone. You got the oxygen, because see, the biggest elimination organ we have is our skin, and it's also a great source to getting a high amount of oxygen into our system by the food-grade hyperoxide baths. Okay, so there's more than just one way of getting the oxygen into your system behind this chamber. The information about the chamber just let you know how oxygen dealing with reversing the aging process. 60 hyperbiotic oxygen sessions slow down aging. Research team has been exploring the benefits of exposure to high pressure oxygen at different concentrations inside a pressure chamber for years, with studies showing such treatment improved strokes, brain injury, brain function that was damaged by aging. The current study looked at the hyperbiotic oxygen treatment on healthy adults aged 65 and older to determine its effects on normal aging process at the cellular level. 35 subjects were exposed to a series of 60 hyperbiotic oxygen sessions over a 90-day period. Blood samples, which was analyzed for immune cells, were collected before, during, and after the treatment. 2 exciting results were found. 1. The telomeres at the end of the chromosome grew longer instead of shorter at a rate 20 to 38%, depending on the type of the cell. The syncytin cells decreased significantly by 11 to 37%, depending on the type of cell too. In a Telomere University news release, study author Shamar of the University Snacker School of Medicine explained, quote, "Today's telomere shortening is considered the holy grail of the biologic of aging. Researchers around the world are trying to develop pharmaceutical and environmental interventions to enable telomere elongations. Our Hbot protocol was able to achieve this, proving that the aging process can in fact be reversed at a basic cellular molecule level." Now, I would love to get this chamber, but I'm sure if it's doing all this, it's going to be in the millions. But what we do have is getting more oxygen into our system right now. Even the oxy powder pills, one of the most popular pills we have at Healthwise, because it pulls out so much of the poison, because it breaks down that real hard fecal matter that's locked in most people's colon. It does it with oxygen, okay? Matter of fact, I'm making a note here too, is I got to order some more oxy powder pills. I can say they're real, real popular because they work. And I got into this business back in '68 when I learned that 98% of all diseases in the body originate in the colon. So what best to have a real powerful cleanser that uses oxygen to get those poisons out, and at the same time put more oxygen into your body. The telomeres and cellular syncytins, the key to aging. Telomeres are repetitive nucleotide sequences at the end of each chromosome, sometimes compared to the plastic tips on a shoelace. Telomeres help protect your DNA, preserving chromosome stability and preventing molecular contact with neighboring chromosomes. Evidence suggests that telomere length may predict mobility and mortality, with a shorter telomere linked to an increased risk of premature death, but the link is controversial. The uncertainty is usually due to the kaleidoscope of biological and technical factors, including the pre-analytical issues, sample matrix, poor standardization of techniques used for this assessment, and dependence on telomere structures upon genetics. epigenetics, environment, and behavioral latitudes, which may be present at the variable extent in various physiological or pathological conditions. Researchers wrote in Annals of Translational Medicine. Still, despite the controversial, telomere shortening has been associated with a 23% higher risk of all causes of death, along with increased risk of certain cancers, including the neoblastoma with the eyes, the ovarian cancer, lung cancer, kidney cancer, bladder cancer, skin cancer, and the testicles. Telomere shortening is also said to represent, quote, a major measurable molecular characteristic of aging of cells in endoviral and in viral, which like in the test tube, which may have developed as a mechanism to protect against the tumors in a long-lived species. Dr. Amaya, Chief Medical Research Officer at the Sagan Center for Hyperbiotic Medicine and Research at the Shalimar Medical Center, and author of the recent study, added that lifestyle modifications and intense exercise has previously been found to slow telomere shortening, but the Hbot appears to be another variable option. Exercise. It's interesting how we talk about exercise is extending your life, extending your quality of life, moving that body. It could be a 20-minute walk. We should do at least 90 minutes worth of exercises every week. 90 minutes, hour and a half out of 168 hours, or 3 times a week doing half hour worth of exercise. And here is another way for preventing so many different diseases, including reversing the aging. That's remarkable. In our study, only 3 months of Hbot were able to elongate telomeres at a rate far beyond any current available intervention of lifestyle modification. With this pioneer study, we have opened a door for further research on the cellular impact on Hbot and its potential for reversing the aging process. He only did this for 90 days. And the telomeres expanded, okay? And the cell's ability to reproduce, okay, expanded. Just 90 days. You didn't say how many hours they was in the middle. But just, it's like, again, God is not forsaking us. The answer to our problems is all around us. Spending time with God in meditation, you get these answers. It's amazing. It's like the guy we're going to talk about next week. He's taking soil and putting the life force back into the soil, feeding it to children, and is reversing their diseases at such a young age. I mean, we're in such a powerful, powerful position. Cellular senescence is also known to play a role in cellular aging, and the accumulation of senescent cells is believed to be an integral part of aging process, even potentially acting as a causal factor in age-related diseases. Research is underway to develop therapeutic strategies to interfere with the cellular senescence, including eliminating senescent cells, and Hbot has emerged as one potential strategy. Not necessarily a clear-cut fountain of youth. It is important to take the study's limitation into account when evaluating whether Hbot is truly a fountain of youth. As the researchers implies, it was a small study, which means the results could be replicated in a larger sample of subjects. Also, as mentioned, the use of telomere length as a marker for age is in itself controversial. The study also measured telomere length for immune cells, called T cells, which may fluctuate depending on a number of environmental conditions, such as exercise. You keep going back to something that we can do ourselves. Exercise. Excuse me. It's positive sign that Hbot also decreased cellular senescence in T cells, but as noted by Steve Hill, who serves on the board of directors for LEAF, a nonprofit promoting increasing healthy human lifespans, quotes, "The problem with interpreting these results as rejuvenation or cell reversal is that T cells are a poor choice of cell types to use for this kind of thing due to their highly dramatic nature. Unfortunately, they are a popular cell type to use in these sorts of studies due to their ease of collection from the bloodstream. These particular immune cells can have large variance in their telomere length based on the demand for cellular replications at the particular time. T cells population replicated rapidly in the face of pathogens, and with each replication, the telomeres shorten, meaning that the telomeres length can vary in these cell populations from day to day. Infections and other environmental factors can play a key role in the status of T cells' telomere. This is why they are not overly useful as an aging biomarker. This isn't to say that the Hbot isn't useful. As other experts agree, Hbot can have significant benefits for longevity. One of the reasons I'm fascinated by Hbot in particular is because of its ability to improve the mitochondrial function. However, it should be viewed as one component of healthy aging, not necessarily a magic bullet that will stop it in its tracks. I agree with that. How does this hyperbiotic oxygen therapy work? Well, on Dr. McCullough's website, he gave this hour and 10-minute long presentation that gets into more discussion about that, but I'm not going to cover that in here. But the Hbot has long been used as a treatment for decomposition sickness that can occur among scuba divers. When you sit in a hyperbiotic oxygen therapy chamber, you breathe air that has 2 to 3 times greater air pressure than normal, which allows your lungs to absorb more oxygen. It just brings me to the mindset of why we take the civil water and spray it up our nose. People say, why are you doing that? Well, this oxygen chamber is forcing more oxygen into your system. Spraying the civil water, which also has oxygen in it, it's like forcing more oxygen into your system. I'm just trying to bring home what we can do today. This, in turn, increases the amount of oxygen in your blood, which is transported throughout your body, fighting pathogens, the parasites, the fungus, bacteria, viruses, mold, yeast. Those pathogens have one thing in common, is that they one cell, which is a foreign substance in your body, Okay, breathing in more oxygen, you killing those sources of the diseases, the pathogens. Okay, this in turn increases the amount of oxygen in your body, which transfers throughout your body, fighting pathogens, bacteria, and stimulating the release of healing growth factors in stem cells. I mean, this oxygen is so key. Healing growth factors in the stem cells. In my interview in the video above with Dr. Summers, a chiropractor who has worked with Hbot for over 12 years, he explained that oxygen can be viewed as a nutrient. Your body needs this to carry out its regular function, and when tissues is injured, it needs even more oxygen for healing. Most healthy individuals have somewhere between 96 and 98% oxygen in a hemoglobin, which means your capacity to increase your oxygen level is between 2 to 4%, were you to breathe medical grade oxygen, for instance, like the food grade hyperoxide, breathing it in, putting it in a humidifier. Okay. However, you can increase your oxygen level far beyond that if your body is under pressure. Okay. So get in the chamber. But it was not that 2 to 4% increase from what I've seen, and people breathing it in from a humidifier. It's making a huge difference in their life. Two main laws govern how this works: the Bryan law and the Henry law. Basically, as you take a gas and exert pressure on it, you make the size of that gas take up less space. As a result of that pressure, you can then dissolve that gas into liquid. An easy example is a can of seltzer. They've used carbon dioxide and water, but basically you can pressurize that can so you can put carbon dioxide into the can. As a result of that pressurization, you can dissolve molecules of cellular detoxide into the water. In the hyperbiotic version of that, we're using oxygen, and the can is the chamber. But as a result of dumping excess oxygen inside that chamber, you can dissolve that into the liquid of your body, directly into the tissues and the plasma of your blood. The oxygen in your blood is carried by the hemoglobin. The plasma that carries your red blood cells that holds the hemoglobin normally does not carry oxygen. We rely wholly on red blood cells, oxygen carrying capacity. But inside the chamber, you could literally bypass the red blood cells' oxygen carrying capacity altogether, and you can absorb oxygen directly into the plasma and the tissues of the body. It made me think about when people take the food grade hyperoxide bath. They take like 8 ounces, put it in a tub of water, soak in there for 45 minutes or an hour or sometime longer. Now you kind of like pressure your body to get more oxygen on the cellular level. So we had this product by Dr. Wallach called Oxybody. 1 ounce give you 25 drops of the hyperoxide. Excellent, excellent food. We talking about oxygen, and how it's making such a big difference in people's lives. Or the potential, based on this research. Hbot fights the mitochondria and oxidative stress and COVID-19. Wow. Hbot can be used to help speed healing of any inflammatory conditions and it's known to facilitate wound healing and cell survival. A small study group involving 10 healthy men also revealed that a single 45-minute Hbot sessions reduced levels of the metabolic stress-related biomarkers, including attenuation and mitochondria and oxidative stress, and relieving metabolic burdens, which suggests it can be useful for treating metabolic diseases. The fact that Hbot protects against mitochondrial dysfunction is a major benefit, considering most chronic and degenerative diseases involve mitochondrial dysfunction. I don't know if y'all getting this, but I hope y'all. I'm excited about it. Because we've been using oxygen for over 30-something years. Like I said, one of my best things is to ride my bike around Belle Isle because there's so many trees which put out the oxygen that our body needs so much. And what we get them is what we covering up with the mass, is carbon dioxide. Unfortunately, conventional medicine still reserve Hbot for a limited number of conditions, such as certain brain injuries and severe wounds, as well as the following: severe anemia, brain excesses, bubbles of air in your blood vessels, burns, carbon monoxide poisoning, crash injuries, deafness, sudden deafness, decomposition, thickness, infection of skin or bones that cause the tissue death, non-healing wounds such as diabetic foot ulcers, radiation injuries, which is burning, skin cracking at risk of tissue death, traumatic brain injuries, and vision loss suddenly. In the U.S., there are only 14 conditions in which insurance will pay for Hbot, whereas there are up to 100 approved indications for Hbot internationally, according to Sona. It's crazy, man. It's only 14 conditions, because they have these oxygen chambers here in America. I think Michael Jackson had an oxygen chamber. So they got them here in America, but they only use them under 14 conditions where the insurance will pay for the use. There's over 100 proven indications for Hbot internationally, according to the Dr. Summer. From my perspective, it's mechanically representable and exclusable for doctors to not treat patients with diabetes, neuropathics, infections in distressed extremities, or vascular diseases with Hbot, as it will, in most cases, prevent the need for acupuncture. Other conditions that may benefit from Hbot is all of your autoimmune conditions, neurological conditions including conclusions, traumatic brain injury, dementia, and post-strokes, muscular cellular injuries, including broken bones, hemorrhaging, hemorrhoids, and torn muscles and tendons. Any condition involving mitochondrial dysfunction, any condition involving damaged microcirculation or that can benefit from cellular growth, chronic infections such as Lyme disease and subattitude infections that causes damage over time. Cancer, another thing they can use this chamber for. Co-management, as noted by Summer, research is looking at Hbot and cancer treatments in a number of different ways. For example, doing it may allow you to use less radiation, less burning, and less chemo, mustard gas, and still get the same outcome. Or it may allow the patient to tolerate higher amounts of radiation by speeding the healing between sessions. A third avenue of investigation is the use of HBO in isolations. God, man, there's some powerful stuff here. Reversing the aging, reversing diabetes, reversing conditions left and right of the with oxygen. Like I say, Dr. Wallach, he got this product called Hbot. Each day, done once a day, you give you 25 drops of this food grade hyperoxide with just 1 ounce. Amazing. Typically, hospitals will only provide Hbot if you have one of the 14 approved indications. If you're interested in Hbot for other medical or longevity purposes, you need to look into the private sector for treatment. The International Hyperbiotic Association, IHA, and the Hyperbiotic Medical International, in the HNI, are two organizations that may direct you to more local centers. So if you want to get this, again, that's IHA, International Hyperbiotic Association. That's Hypovoltic, I spell it for you, HYPARBARIC. The HYPARBARIC Association. That's one place you can get further information on. And the next one is the Hyperbiotic Medical International, HMI. Two organizations that may direct you to a local center. You can also learn more on the HbotUSA.com, which is Sona's primary educational website, where you can find a list of treated conditions, research the benefits of Hbot in athletes, and testimonies, and much more. So we got a few minutes. Let's go to that website, HbotUSA. I just can't get enough water. Okay. Well, you see, find a location, learn more. Hbot performance, enhancing, promoting recovery and healing. Okay, here we go. Now, health benefits. Hbot benefits, conditions Hbot help with. Okay, Hbot has developed a successful track record for improving numerous conditions. Outside of the FDA approved list for Hbot therapy, there are now over 120 reported conditions for which the hyperbiotic oxygen chamber has been known to be effective and beneficial, according to numerous. What happened to this? I hate this, but it just covered up the last sentence. Well, I guess it's getting into about them and who they are. The healing power of oxygen is not something new. The use of hyperbiotic therapy dates back nearly 350 years. The very first, the hyperbiotic chamber, was created in 1662 with the clinical use of the hyperbiotic oxygen therapy starting in the mid 1800s, and during the 1960s, studies began to show a wide variety of benefits used for Hbot therapy. Today, there are over 120 reported conditions in which hyperbiotic therapy has been known to be effective and beneficial. What they say, look at God, okay? Look at God. Well, they got a nice big place. They serve over 50 states. They had over 5,000 patients that they treated. And they got an entire team working for you. And plus 50 years of experiencing. Okay. So you probably have some questions about the hyperotic oxygen therapy. Traditionally, Hbot has been used for diabetes, foot wounds, air and gas embolism, carbon monoxide poisoning. Breathing in with this mask is carbon monoxide poisoning. Also, smoke inhalations. Is it carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide, excuse me. Smoke inhalation, gas gonorrhea, terminal burns, decompression sickness, and acute mountain sickness. These are just some of the things that oxygen has over there. They're using that hyperbiotic oxygen chamber that people have got great results with. Today, we help treat everything from diabetes, low energy, Lyme disease, cellular palsy, head injuries, chronic fatigue, brain injuries, multiple sclerosis, ALS, asthma, wounds and scar healing, post-stroke care, post-surgery care and healing, improved performance, autism, dementia, and cellular palsy, just to name a few. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Getting oxygen into your system ain't no joke, folks. Some kind of way, whether it be this chamber or going out and walking around or run up and down the stairs or dancing, something to force you to do that deep breathing. Man. Hbot USA, we offer treatments in our clinics as well as in-home Hbot chambers. Call to learn more about the benefits of Hbot. Man, is Hbot safe? The hyperbiotic is a safe alternative to many medical treatment options offered to patients today. Some hyperbiotic patients may report some mild ear pressure discomfort. This depression is similar to the pressure felt when ascending or descending in an airplane. Discuss these concerns with your physician and a hyperbiotic therapy professional. Our articles provide a safe, compatible, comfortable, and willing environment for your hyperbiotic therapy needs. We have hard and soft side chambers in our office and offer mild to high pressure depending on the need of our patients. God, man, I wonder, can I get one of these suckers for Healthwise? oxygen chamber that Michael Jackson used. Our in-home Hbot therapy chambers offer you the benefits of oxygen therapy right in your home. Our chambers offer you all the benefits of Hbot therapy without the hassle and environmental distress that oftentimes come with traveling and being in the medical movement. Well, there's a pretty little boy and girl. Okay. Who can use HBO? Is Hbot safe for children? Ha. Yes, yes, yes. If it's safe for children, it's safe for me. Hyperbiotic yields wonderful results with children. In fact, research with children suffering from brain injury, learning and developmental delays, autism, genetic disorders show positive results. Great promise. Call us today to look for about the Hbot Center in our home chambers, offering many of the games play benefits is at our office in Hbot therapy chambers. Ask us which is better for the fit for you and your family. Does insurance cover Hbot? In the United States, there are certain indications where insurance companies cover hypobiotic therapy. This includes gangrene, radiation burns, carbon monoxide poisoning, and decompression of sickness. Traditionally, insurance does not cover these treatments for the conditions as we use for it. If you are not sure your conditions covering the heals, feel free to, if you are not sure if your conditions is covered, feel free to call us and ask. Okay, there we go. Did it give you a phone number? Maybe so at the end, because I didn't see a phone number. But to give you a website. Are the age restrictions if your Hbot safe for the elderly? Most definitely. Are the age restrictions? Most definitely. The Hyperbiotic is great for those in their later years. The Hyperbiotic provides an immeasurable boost which counteracts the signs of aging. In fact, new research indicated that hyperbiotic oxygen slows autonomous cell death and help with diabetes, naturopathy, dementia, Alzheimer's, and overall energy and healing. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Ooh. Some more questions and answers, okay? Do you need to go and do 40 sessions? No. Keep in mind that the 40-hour protocol is the gold standard for many of the physiological benefits that have been observed from Hbot. However, the actual physiological benefits for Hbot can be seen in just a few 60-minute sessions. Most physiological benefits begin within the first few sessions of Hbot, as it has been well documented that the antioxidants and protective role of Hbot is immediate and demonstrates within 24 hours of just one hypobiotic sessions. Further to this, the anti-inflammatory response is quite also very quick, and a strong physiological response has been shown within 4 days of the hyperbiotic therapy. Many studies have reported that Hbot to produce a strong pain relief effect after just 5 to 10 sessions. Hbot effects on promoting new blood vessel formations can take place in just 10 to 20 sessions. From our data, there is a general summary. 1 to 5 sessions improve cellular energy, and during this time, tissue functions may be optimized. Those with residential carbon monoxide, smokers, or with mild asthma can slow immediate benefits with cellular energy. Inflammation markers can go down considerably and mark the beginning of the natural repair process. 5 to 10 sessions typically used for acute injury with soft tissue damage, particularly if there is pain involved. 10 to 20 sessions, more serious acute injury or chronic injuries. 20 to 40 sessions, commonly used for major tissue damage, and when used properly, when new cells are required. The Hbot, regenerated stem cells properties. God, man, oxygen ain't no joke. Do I need 60 minutes per session? No. Most research studies typically use 60 to 90 minute sessions, with the majority reported positive benefits. However, shorter duration sessions, 20 to 30 minutes, are getting greater feedback from clients undergoing Hbot. Moreover, the lower pressure seemed to fare better with this shorter duration protocol. Ultimately, it depends on the age of the patient and the severity of the conditions. Can I use hypobiotic chambers if I'm pregnant? It is not generally advised to undergo hyperbiotic therapy if you are pregnant. Some people feel that there is benefits, quote, research done on in Russia. However, until further studies, safety studies are performed, it is not advisable to be inside a hyperbiotic chamber during pregnancy. Make me think about doing nursing, put more oxygen into the baby's system. I would think yes. I hear that I can get the same effects by going to an oxygen bar. No. Actually, it is the pressure that plays the most critical role in the effective doses of Hbot. This is because the extra oxygen is dissolved in the blood plasma, which alongside the added pressure can travel to deeper areas in the body where blood flows and oxygen levels have been linked. An oxygen bar only delivers higher oxygen concentration and does not pressure the oxygen. Therefore, it cannot deliver the same effect as you can experience through the hyperbiotic oxygen therapy. Only Hbot will be able to force significant amount of oxygen into your blood plasma. Wow. I see why Michael Jackson got him an oxygen chamber. And you can see why exercises is so important to get the oxygen into your system. And you can see why oxygen is in the drinking water that we have. It's in the sip water that we have. It's in the green foods that we have. It's in the cleansers that we have. It's oxygen. It's in this body, oxygen body. okay, that we have. It's quite amazing what oxygen is doing for the body. Can you overdose? OD. Just like any medication or procedure, yes, and there is known as oxygen toxicity, which can affect the central nervous system and or the lungs. The two variables leading to oxygen toxicity are pressure and time. If your pressure is kept below 2 ATA and the time is kept to 60 minutes, then the risk of oxygen toxicity is extremely low. A skilled hyperbiotic therapist will be able to limit this risk if dosages are used above 2.2 ATT for longer than 60 minutes. So, how long before I can see benefits? I mean, these questions, these keep coming and coming. Each person is different, and some will immediately benefit, and others may not notice them at all until completion of their series of the hyperbiotic session. In terms of the 40-hour protocol, it is not uncommon for the majority of the benefits to be reported up to 4 weeks following the completion. So there you have it, folks. Oxygen, oxygen, oxygen. Okay. God was giving you that oxygen that promoting the healing. Okay. He even mentioned about the COVID. They tell us that COVID grows in our nasal passages. Some people say it grows in the blood system. Getting the oxygen into your system, wherever the viruses or the pathogens is growing. No, we've heard from Wayne over and over again that the silver water with the oxygen in it and the B-flat frequency in it, and it's alkaline, and restructured water molecules. Those 5 modalities people have reported over and over again. And Wayne told us how spraying it in your eyes, spraying it up your nose, spraying it in your ears. It's just, remarkable. So, man, I'm excited about it. It's one of the things that I use myself. I don't have a chamber. I would love to have one at Healthwise so folks can come in for our sessions. I don't know if you have to be a medical technician or a doctor to have a chamber, how much it would even cost. But the things that we do have available to us, I know folks say, well, it's cold outside, but getting outside or going to a mall or somewhere to being around people is so important. Walking outside is so important, but doing some exercises is just another way of getting this oxygen into our system. I can't speak of it enough, but you can always come by Healthwise at 3807 East 8 Mile Road, about 3 blocks west of Ryan. We're there to service you Monday through Saturday from 10 to 7. You can give us a call directly at the store at 586-757-DIET. Again, it's 586-757-3438. Our old number still works, 313-366-DIET. And if you want to reach me directly, I encourage you to just send me a text at 313-600-8532. And if I had answers, I'll give it to you. And if I don't, I can look it up and get back with you. So thanks for tuning in to Healthwise, and from our engineer, Brother Tim, helping us out. And I look forward to y'all checking out about the benefits of this healthy food growing on a healthy soil next week with Robert Kennedy Jr. and what's his name, Shar Bush. He's not related to the presidential Bush family. All right, folks. I guess I'll see you. Oh, do we still have a couple more minutes? Okay, appreciate you guys, and look forward to seeing you and sending you love. Peace out now.